Imagine waking up every day with a feeling of dread, like something terrible is about to happen, but you don't know what. Your mind races, your chest tightens, and no matter how much you tell yourself to relax, the anxiety just won't let go. This is life with generalized anxiety disorder, an invisible storm that never seems to stop. Generalized anxiety disorder, often shortened to GAD, is one of the most common and yet most misunderstood mental health conditions in the world today. While everyone experiences anxiety from time to time, people living with GAD experience it on a completely different scale. Imagine a constant hum of worry in the background of your mind, one that never really fades, even when everything around you seems fine. That's the daily reality for someone with this disorder. At its core, GAD is defined by persistent, excessive, and uncontrollable worry about a wide range of ordinary life events, health, finances, work, school, relationships, or even minor day-to-day concerns. It's not the kind of anxiety that shows up only when there's a clear problem to solve or a stressful situation to face. Instead, the worry in GAD is chronic, often unrealistic, and extremely difficult to switch off. People with this condition might recognize that their fears are exaggerated, yet they still feel powerless to stop the cycle of anxious thoughts. To understand how this disorder manifests, let's look more closely at what happens both mentally and physically. The mental symptoms often begin with the feeling that something bad is about to happen, a vague, undefined sense of dread. The mind races from one "what if" scenario to another, creating a constant loop of imagined problems. For example, a person might lie awake worrying about an upcoming work meeting, then jump to concerns about their health, then about a family member's safety. These thoughts come one after another, leaving no room for rest or relief. Physically, GAD can be exhausting. Chronic anxiety triggers the body's stress response, the same biological system that's designed to help us survive real danger. When this system is activated too often, it creates a flood of symptoms: muscle tension, headaches, trembling, fatigue, sweating, rapid heartbeat, and stomach discomfort. Many people also experience restlessness, feeling on edge, or being easily startled by small things. Sleep often becomes difficult because the brain refuses to slow down, keeping the body in a state of alertness long after the day has ended. One of the most challenging aspects of GAD is its tendency to blend in with everyday stress. Because anxiety is such a common human emotion, it's easy for people, and even doctors, to mistake GAD for normal worrying or a busy lifestyle. The difference lies in the intensity and duration. For someone with GAD, anxiety lasts for months or years, not hours or days. It interferes with concentration, decision-making, and social life. To truly understand generalized anxiety disorder, we need to look inside the mind, at what's happening deep within the brain and body. Anxiety isn't just a feeling that lives in our thoughts. It's a biological reaction, a survival system built to keep us safe. But in GAD, that system becomes overly sensitive, misfiring again and again, even when there's no real danger. Our bodies are wired with what's called the fight or flight response, a powerful mechanism designed to protect us from threats. When the brain detects danger, it releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals increase our heart rate, sharpen our senses, and prepare our muscles to act quickly. It's an ancient system, and in true emergencies, like avoiding a car accident or escaping a wild animal, it's life-saving. But in people with GAD, this alarm system doesn't switch off properly. The brain begins to treat ordinary situations, a work email, a health concern, or even silence, as potential threats. This constant state of alertness floods the body with stress hormones again and again, leading to fatigue, tension, and that sense of being on edge, for no clear reason. The brain regions most involved in this process are the amygdala, the prefrontal cortex, and the hippocampus. These three areas form the emotional control center of the brain. The amygdala acts like an internal alarm, scanning everything around you for possible danger. In people with GAD, research shows that the amygdala is often overactive. It reacts too quickly and too strongly, sending signals of fear even in harmless situations. This means the body is constantly being told, "Something's wrong. Get ready to defend yourself." Next comes the prefrontal cortex, the logical and decision-making part of the brain. In a healthy system, it acts like a rational counterbalance, calming the amygdala and reminding us that not every concern is a crisis. But in GD, the prefrontal cortex can become underactive, meaning it has trouble quieting those fear signals. It's like having a fire alarm that keeps ringing, while the firefighter is too tired to respond. The hippocampus, another key player, is responsible for processing memories and distinguishing between past and present experiences. When chronic anxiety floods the brain with stress hormones, the hippocampus can actually shrink over time, making it harder for the brain to tell when a threat has passed. As a result, even after a stressful event is over, the body remains in a state of tension, unable to fully relax. Beyond brain structure, chemistry also plays a critical role. The human brain relies on a delicate balance of neurotransmitters, chemical messengers that regulate mood and emotion. In GD, several of these messengers are out of sync. Low levels of gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA, the neurotransmitter responsible for calming neural activity, can make the brain more excitable and prone to worry. Living with generalized anxiety disorder can feel like walking through life with a storm cloud that never drifts away. But here's the truth that science and countless real-life stories have shown. Anxiety is not permanent, and healing is entirely possible. The same brain that learned to live in fear can be retrained to live in calm. Healing from GAD isn't about completely erasing anxiety. It's about learning how to manage it, understanding its signals, and building a life that no longer revolves around fear. The first and most crucial step is acknowledgement. Many people with GD spend years believing their worries are simply part of their personality. They tell themselves, "I'm just a worrier," or "I've always been like this." But when anxiety begins to take over every thought, every plan, and every moment of rest, it's no longer just part of who you are. It's a sign that your mind and body are overwhelmed. Recognizing this truth can be liberating. It shifts the perspective from self-blame to self-understanding. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" the question becomes, "What's happening to me, and how can I help myself heal?" From there, the path to recovery often begins with professional help. The most effective and scientifically backed treatment for GD is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT works by identifying the distorted thought patterns that fuel anxiety and teaching the brain to respond differently. In therapy, individuals learn to challenge their automatic "what if" thoughts, replacing catastrophic predictions with balanced, realistic perspectives. Over time, this reprogramming weakens anxiety's grip on the mind. Studies show that CBT can significantly reduce symptoms by strengthening the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate the amygdala, essentially rewiring the brain's fear system. Alongside therapy, mindfulness-based approaches have become powerful tools for calming an overactive mind. Mindfulness means paying full attention to the present moment without judgment, noticing thoughts as they come, then letting them go without engaging in the cycle of worry. For someone with GAD, this can be life-changing. Mindfulness teaches the brain that it's safe to exist in the now, instead of constantly living in "what if." Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, or mindful walking can lower cortisol levels and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation switch. In addition to psychological therapies, medication can play an important role in treatment. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, for instance, help restore balance to serotonin levels in the brain, reducing the intensity of anxious thoughts and physical tension. For some, short-term anti-anxiety medications may also be prescribed to manage acute symptoms. However, medication is most effective when paired with therapy and lifestyle changes, not as a standalone solution.